Hey guys, my name is Shirley and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm just going to be sharing with you guys some of the tips and tricks that I use to stay focused while working at home. I feel like a lot of us have just been thrust into this world where we're expected to work from home. Some people working from home completely full time, and we have never been given a toolkit on exactly how to do it. So in this video, I'm just hoping to share a few tips on some of the things that I've picked up over the last, I think, 2 years of working from home and how to stay focused. There's some people out there that I think are like me who actually prefer working in office. I'm one of those people who just completely thrive when I'm working around other people. So for me, working from home can be a bit of a struggle, especially focusing while trying to work from home. All right, so one of the things that I have done that really helps me out a lot is putting my phone on do not disturb or putting my phone on work focus mode. So with the recent iOS updates, you now can set up different focus modes and essentially block certain notifications from coming to your phone when you're on certain focus modes. And honestly, for me, this has just been such a big tool, just because my phone is like one of my biggest enemies. Things like Instagram and YouTube, they're just so easy to just grab your phone and just start scrolling, and it just ends up being a distraction. Next thing you know, you've spent like 15 minutes just mindlessly scrolling. So for me, putting my phone on do not disturb and sometimes putting it away from me has been such a big help. I've just now learned that I need to be very mindful of what are my key distractions and things that trigger me to not be focused. I just need to be mindful of those things and then put measures in place to make sure that those things don't tempt me. And when it comes to my phone, putting my phone on do not disturb is very helpful. Another thing that I found to be quite helpful is having a really good morning routine. Now for me, having a great morning routine and starting my day off right makes such a big difference to my work day, to my productivity levels, to my mood throughout the day and everything. And when I say morning routine, I don't mean like do what people on YouTube or TikTok or whatever post that you have to wake up at like 4 a.m. and like go for a run and meditate and journal and, you know, solve world hunger before it's even 9 o'clock. I don't mean that at all. I just mean having a routine that works for you, whether that's waking up at 7, whether that's waking up at 6, just having a specific routine to set you up for the day, to, you know, cleanse your mind and make sure that you're ready for the day really helps with your focus. I know when you're working from home, it is so tempting to, you know, roll out of bed at 8:50 and go straight to your desk. Trust me, I've had many of those moments where I have like a 9 o'clock meeting and I wake up at 8:55 and literally just roll off my bed and go to my desk. But when I have days like that, I honestly just struggle to be productive just because I feel like I'm just being reactive. Having a good morning routine allows me to take control of my day. It allows me to not start off reactive, to claim back my time, because when I don't do it, I just find I feel like I'm just a step behind and I'm just reacting, and then I just become a bit more tense and I'm not able to focus. So for me, I like to wake up, I like to get a coffee, I like to go on a walk, and come back to my desk. I don't really work out in the morning anymore just because time-wise I can't be bothered waking up at like 5 a.m. these days. But yeah, just having a good morning routine, I find, just gives me everything that I need to make sure that I'm set up for the day. Another thing that I find really helps me out, especially on days where I'm really feeling lethargic and where I'm really feeling not motivated at all, is setting really good intentions for the day and completely hyping myself. Now, the mind is such a powerful thing. Like, what you tell your mind is literally what your body will do. Like, you know, sometimes you rock up to the gym and you're just like really not feeling it. Your workouts are kind of like lower. But when you go to the gym feeling hyped, feeling pumped up and stuff, you end up lifting more than you normally lift. You run further than you normally run and things like that. And that's all because everything starts in the mind. So on days where I'm really feeling low, or even if I know that today is going to be a stressful day, I set myself aside and tell myself exactly how I want my day to run. I know this kind of sounds silly, but trust me, it works so much. So for instance, there's some days that I know are going to be really stressful. I start off my day and saying, Shirley, I know this day is going to be stressful. I know you have so much to do, but today's going to be a good day. You're going to absolutely smash it. Even though it's going to be like quite tense, you're just going to absolutely smash it. You're going to be productive. You're going to do everything that you need to do. And what that does is it forces my body and it forces my mind to follow what I'm telling it to do. I tell myself how I want my day to be. I tell myself how I want to show up. And obviously sometimes it doesn't work. Like sometimes you're just completely feeling low, you're just completely out of it. And sometimes there's nothing you can do to shake you out of it. But then a lot of the time I honestly do find it works. What I tell myself I want to accomplish, majority of the time I can accomplish it. Another thing that's quite helpful is setting boundaries, especially with the people that you live with. I know this isn't easy for everyone. I can just speak about my own personal experience. So for instance, when I was working from home, just setting clear boundaries with people that you live with, that between this time and this time I'm working, between this time and this time I'm in a meeting, so I can't afford any distractions. That really does go a long way in terms of helping you stay focused, because if you have people constantly in your space walking up and down, it really can be distracting. So set clear boundaries with people that you live with. Set clear boundaries with yourself. And like I said, I know this isn't always easy. For instance, who have kids, I cannot even give advice on that. Personally, I don't have kids. I have no idea how people who work from home and have like 3 kids running around do it. So I can't provide any advice on that front. But if you are in a situation where, let's just say, you're sharing an apartment with your partner, or you're living with friends, just try to set clear boundaries and just removing any distractions from your personal workspace. Another thing that helps me stay focused at work is time blocking the times that I action my emails. Again, this does depend on the nature of your job. So let's say if your job is to literally respond to emails all day, that this tip probably isn't going to work for you. But I find with my job, just because my job, I speak to so many people on a day-to-day basis. I have numerous hiring managers I'm dealing with, numerous candidates that I'm dealing with. So essentially like every 10 minutes or every half hour, I am getting a new email. And there are times that I used to like try to action an email as it comes across, or even open that email as it comes across. And then that would just completely distract me. Like I might be in the middle of preparing a shortlist, and then a hiring manager sends me an email asking about their job ad, and then now I drop my shortlist and now I start working on the job ad, and then that ends up disrupting the deep work that I would have been. So now what I do is I have 3 intervals throughout the day that I like action like my major email. So first thing when I get into the office, like I'll scan my emails, action the ones that need to be actioned. And then again, I'll do it midday and then towards the end of the day. That way, it just means when I am working, I'm not getting distracted when I'm in my focus modes. Because if you allow yourself to pick up every single email that's going to come through, especially if you have a large volume, you're never going to get your deep work done. Obviously, if an urgent email comes through, I'll action it, like, you know, regardless of what I'm doing. But I've just found setting some time apart to action my emails allows me to do real deep work of the actual job that I need to do. Another thing that helps out quite a lot with staying focused is getting up and moving your body. I think it's quite important throughout your day to just be getting up and moving. It's so easy to get stuck at your desk all day, not get up, not move, just be completely stuck. But our minds can't work that way. Our minds cannot work 8 hours straight without taking a break or without taking a pause. You might think you're pushing yourself and trying to be more productive, but you're actually just hindering yourself. We need moments to breathe. We need moments for our bodies to move. We need moments to get hydrated and drink water and stuff like that. Take your lunch breaks. I know there's like this like badge of honor that sometimes people wear when they're like, oh, I don't take my lunch break. I just work through it. That's not really something to be proud of if it's going to jeopardize your health or if it's going to jeopardize your mental focus. So get up, move, go for a 5-minute walk, go to another room, get up to get a glass of water or whatever it is. Trust me, it will really help refresh your mind. Another thing that helps me with staying focused at home is setting the scene for focus mode. I know one of the things that helps me to be super productive is when I set the mood and like really like zhuzh up my place for productivity. Things that I love to do, for instance, when I sit at my desk, I love to make sure that I'm like in comfy clothes but not in my PJs, because when I'm in my PJs I feel like I'm just like I lounge around and then I'm just not really focused. I also make myself a cup of coffee or a drink or a cup of tea or have something like that on my desk. I don't know what it is about me, but if I have a beverage on my desk I just feel like I am like bougie and productive and stuff like that. So for me, seeing a coffee or a cup of tea on my desk just like clicks something in my mind, and then it just makes me feel like I need to be productive. I also quite enjoy working with focus music playing in the background. So a lot of it is like instrumental music. I never listen to music with words because I just find that quite distracting. But I have a playlist, and I just found this like on Apple Music. I'm sure there's other ones that I listen to on Spotify as well. I didn't create it myself, but I just literally search focus music and I play that. And because I always play that music when I know I need to start focusing. My brain immediately associates that sound with deep focus. So whenever my brain hears like focus music, like instrumental music, it just like knows that, okay, now it's time for this. Setting up a mood and setting up a scene for focus work really helps. Another tip that I would say is invest the time into learning and discovering when your optimal brain like capacity is. So what I mean by that is a lot of us work 9 to 5, and it's not during that whole 9 hours are we constantly at the same level of focus and productivity and stuff. Some people go down at 3 p.m. Some people only start focusing at 11. Some people start focusing straight up in the morning at 9. So I think it's quite important to really pay attention to when your peak periods are and do your hard work in those periods, and try to avoid doing things like meetings in those peak periods. Let's say, you know, at 3 o'clock your mind just shuts off, it just can't do things. Don't leave your hard stuff then until 3 o'clock, because that's like essentially you fighting against your own body. So try to figure out when your peak periods are and then put all your deep work and your focus work in those times. For me personally, I really love working like between like 6:30 and 8:30 a.m. just because there's no distractions. A lot of employers these days really don't care the hours that you work as long as you deliver. So yeah, try to figure out the hours that work for you. And last but not least, I think one of the things that really helps with focusing is planning your day out at the very start and doing a to-do list. I find sometimes at work there can be so many things that are like craving your attention, or you might have so many different projects. So I find it very important at the start of each day to really be aware of what my main priorities are and then make a to-do list. I'll literally write like 9 to 10 a.m. reply emails, 10 a.m. till 11 a.m. Go through applications for government role. And what that really helps with is prioritizing your work, and it's also satisfying just ticking things off as you go. Like I just absolutely love ticking off a to-do list. It's like such an energy booster, so absolutely love it for that reason. Also, I find when I don't plan my day I get quite anxious because like I feel like I'm all over the shop and I feel like I have no control. But when I write things down, it gives me more of a sense of control, and it gives me a sense of I know exactly where everything's at. Therefore, I don't panic as much or feel as anxious or as overwhelmed as much. Anyway, guys, these are some of the few tips and tricks that I use when I'm working from home just to try to stay focused. If you do have any other things that you do in your personal life, make sure to comment them down below. I really would love to learn from you guys. Really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you have liked it, make sure to pop that like button. It really goes a long way for me. And with all that being said and done, dream big, keep well, and hustle hard. I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye! Because you don't know who